I don't think there's anything that's certain in the world at the moment. There's a lot that can change, there's a lot that can happen. And I think that is in the back of your mind every time I'm going into work.
Adult trauma, ETA 5 minutes.
Got an assault coming in. He's stabbed multiple times.
5-year-old hit by a car, dragged for 3 metres, degloved the right side of their scalp. Code red.
They're now saying partial amputation with a traumatic cardiac arrest.
This is just disastrous.
Travel by cow. I can't make that up.
Oh, it's a proper day today, isn't it?
St George's, London, one of Britain's busiest A&E departments, under more pressure than ever.
What are you doing?
It does sometimes feel like a battlefield, and it feels like a losing battle at times as well.
You need to calm yourself down.
I have 10 traumas and absolutely no space.
25-year-old jump from a 3rd floor balcony.
This is the point where we can make a difference.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
A place where life,
Best place to make friends, A&E.
love, and loss
Scariest thing in my life. I thought I lost it.
unfold every single day.
A life is not just a singular thing. Things that happen to you have a huge effect on the people around you as well.
You scare me so much, you know that?
All the patients you're about to see were treated in just one 24-hour period.
I see behaviour every day that reaffirms my belief in the inherent goodness of people.
It's all a bit of a shock, isn't it?
And I think I'm incredibly fortunate to work in that environment.
It's a lot to take in. He's the love of my life.
Three stab wounds to the posterior chest. He's awake and he's, on the face of it, cardiovascularly normal. Have a look at him.
That 12th in 16 days.
What helps you when you've had a really tough day?
Gin. No, that's not true. No, I don't actually drink.
Be with my partner, either going out or staying at home.
Just go home and be a dad and get crawled on and jumped on by 2 children, and yeah, it's great fun.
Just to get enough oxygen in your lungs, we just want to sit you up a little bit more for now. It's also a really difficult time for patients in resus. We just get a brief encounter where actually you just get a little insight into what's difficult for them. She hasn't eaten very much for 3 weeks. She says she has no appetite, so I'm giving her obviously some fluid. So at the end of the day, it's support from either friends or family that really get you through.
Working in resus today is nurse Jerry. She's 35 weeks pregnant and will soon be starting her maternity leave.
I think I've picked up quite a lot of parenting tips from working in A&E. You can see how people care for each other. Although sometimes you can't stop thinking about care that you gave. So for my own well-being, I have to, I guess, make sure that I've done the best I can do. And normally my mum is the best person to go through those things with.
I'm sitting right in the wrong place, sorry. Hello, St George's. Yep, resus. 01 and the cat. Temperature. Okay. Thanks.
A 52-year-old woman is being rushed to St George's with suspected sepsis.
Medical priority, ETA 2 minutes.
Give me a hand in 7.
I'll come and help. Yes, yeah.
Sepsis is infection within the body. In A&E, we take it incredibly seriously. It can just take over your body so quickly.
That will be our last space.
Our biggest concern is getting something in their body that's fighting what's going on, because we have an hour to get all of their treatment in. After an hour, the mortality rate goes up quite significantly.
The patient's husband found her unresponsive at home and is travelling with her in the ambulance.
It was in the morning. I'd gone into the kitchen to put the kettle on, make some coffee, gone back into the bedroom, and she was having a spasm. Her whole body was shaking quite violently. Her eyes were wide open and just staring. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know whether she was having a stroke. I didn't know if she was having a heart attack. Everything about it felt wrong.
Maria's MS. I've had no verbal communication from her.
Right.
Normally she'll hold a full conversation when she's having a good day.
Yeah, she can understand and respond and things like that.
She's 52, bedbound.
And she's able to follow commands. If you're asking her to lift her hand, she's able to do that for you.
She can't lift her hands, that's the thing. Her limbs don't work, so...
Okay, she's quite advanced.
The way MS works is that it damages the messages from the brain. It affects your arms, your legs. Wherever there is a muscle that needs to have a message sent to it, there is an effect.
A very healthy young individual that gets a case of sepsis can be really taken down by it. So someone that's already at a lower ebb, you'd really want to make sure that you're really quick on getting them treated as soon as you possibly can.
Temperature was 33 with the husband last night.
So we're trying to get her to the monitor. We're going to get a special blanket to warm her up.
Your normal body temperature should be around 37 degrees. When it drops below 34, everything starts to struggle and really concerned that organs are suffering.
She's got very poor respiratory effort.
Too long being too cold is not survivable.
I'm going to sit down a bit, all right?
Maria suffers from multiple sclerosis. She was brought to A&E with suspected sepsis after becoming unresponsive at home.
Maria, sorry to wake you. I'm just going to take another temperature. Let's have a look.
Doctors need to urgently raise her temperature to prevent her organs from failing.
Hello, my dear.
I met Maria in '87. We both worked for a company called Hotel Scene. I was a typist, and we were using fax and telex at that point. She was the office manager, and she was responsible for making sure that all the typists did what they should be doing. Couldn't type, an absolutely dreadful typist. She would take the mick out of me all the time. You might be better off with an armpit.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah, it's not...
I was attracted to Maria from the start. She's Portuguese, so, you know, all the sort of stuff that comes with being Latin and hot-blooded. She was great. She was a good friend to start off with, and then later on the relationship developed. It just sort of happened. I went to see Prince with her, and that was amazing. That was in Wembley before they knocked it down. She loved it. Just music, always music, radio on in the background, that sort of stuff. One day, she was sitting at her desk and I was standing in front of her, and she said, "Should we get married?" And it was like, "Okay, yeah, we can do that." And it just happened like that. We got married in Isleworth, which was just down the road from where we were living at the time.
Can you remember when you first saw her walking down the aisle?
Yeah. I turned round to look at her and started to well up, and my brother had sort of nudged me as if to say, you know, come on, pull yourself together. We were at our happiest.
.4, right. It's just a bit too hypothermic, all right?
Okay.
Warming is the slowest process.
Yeah.
You can't rush it. You gotta take it slow. It takes some time, so fine, good.
Thank you.
We're heading in the right direction.
We did try for children. It wasn't something that happened. That was my issue as such. Yeah, that was hard. That was very hard. She adored her family. We've got nephews and nieces. They made her happy.
What?
I mean, we love our nephews and nieces. They were our children as such. They weren't our children, but they were the closest we were going to get to it. Neither of us were going to spend our days crying. That's easy to do. It's better to try and lift each other and just be happy with each other.
Is that a smile? I like it when you smile.
Give me a kiss. I'll go around the other side.
What are you doing?
Send the picture to Mummy.
The only thing you have to do when you leave A&E when you go home.
What?
You have to cook supper for Mummy.
Oh. No, I don't.
Know that.
And you have to clean the house.
I'm not.
And you have to
Even
read
if
her
they've got a
story
head
before
injury.
putting her to bed. Tough, isn't it?
Man, I should have had a coffee this morning.
Why?
Because I need one.
6-year-old Grace has been brought to A&E by her dad Ben after her mum found tissue stuck in her ear.
I had Izzy's feed at 4:30 this morning, and then I had you at 5:30 this morning for half an hour. A long night. I grew up in Oakhampton, so Devon boy. I really always been into music and love music. So when my parents split up, I ended up going to Guildford to do a DJing course because that was my way of getting out of doing any hard work. I was DJing nightclubs and music venues back in the day. One of my birthdays, when we were dating, we went to Miami and had a wonderful week going to restaurants, pubs, bars until silly times in the morning. It was fantastic.
Do I have to go to school?
It depends if they start pulling it out and then they yank your brain out instead. Because then they'll have to squid your brain back in before school.
Honestly.
It was always good fun to be able to just go, you know what, we're going to go here or we'll go on a big extravagant holiday somewhere. But then you just kind of thrust a baby and like, this one's yours and now go. And you kind of have to wing it a little bit really and learn on the fly.
Grace.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Do you want to pop onto the bed, Grace, and Daddy can take the chair? My name's Kirsty. I'm one of the doctors here. How are you doing?
Good.
And what's happened to you today, Grace?
I put some tissue in my ear because I think I was trying to get some earwax out.
Oh, dear. Yeah? Did you manage to get the earwax out?
You didn't, did you? And you also got the tissue stuck in your ear.
Right, so if you lie on the bed there, come, we have a relaxing time.
Have a nap. Perfect.
Yeah. Turn your head a little bit. But what we need to do is we're going to try and take it out, OK? It's going to feel a bit funny because I'm going to be sort of moving around in your ear, right? But it shouldn't be painful. If it becomes too uncomfortable, then we'll stop. That make sense? OK, let's have a go. You stay here.
Okay.
St George's recess. Go ahead. Right. Thank you, bye-bye. Staff announcement, can we please book in a trauma call for an adult female, ETA 15 minutes, thank you.
An 83-year-old woman is being rushed to St George's after falling down the stairs to her basement.
When a bone breaks enough to break the skin as well, they could have torn nerves, tendons, ligaments. There's a lot that can go wrong very quickly.
Hi, I need adult trauma calls to A&E recess, ETA 5 minutes.
It's an elderly lady who fell down steps and she's got an open tib fib.
Worst case scenario would be that it had been left too long in a position that it wasn't thriving and wasn't getting the blood supply. It could be fatal for her limb.
The woman was unable to call for help until her husband returned home 90 minutes later.
That day, I had been playing golf, and I came home, opened the door, and as usual, I said, "It's me, darling, I'm home." When I looked, she's sitting at the bottom of the cellar stairs. There was a lot of blood on the floor. "Don't come down, don't come down." I said, "Well, what are we going to do?" Other than sit at the top of the stairs, there wasn't much else we could do.
Just pop your arms across your chest for me, darling. Thank you.
2, 3. Oh, well done, well done. This is Eve. She's in a bungalow. She's got a downstairs basement. She was carrying a bowl of washing, took the last 2 steps, and she looks like she's inverted. Her medial malleolus has come out.
Eve, we're just going to have a quick look and see what's going on. How long were you on the floor for?
Hour and a half.
How you heading?
Sorry.
Okay, so...
It's oozing. Can I have some gauze? It's definitely broken. It's also dislocated as well. I can't straighten her ankle. We need to give you some medications that will make you feel a bit sleepy and it will help with the pain. And then what we'll do is we'll put the ankle into a more normal position, put a cast on, because it feels quite unstable. We haven't x-rayed it, but I can tell from here that it's fractured.
Right, and then this goes over your face. An open fracture is time critical. You need to ensure that the limb's in the best possible situation so that the blood flow is restored. Keep breathing, just this last bit and then you're all fixed. Well done, Eve. Nice deep breaths. Well done, squeeze my hand. With an older person, their body can't equip themselves as easily as a younger person. You have to fight a little bit harder so that the outcome can be the best for that patient. Well done. Well done.
We've just popped it in a plaster.
Eve will now go for an urgent X-ray to determine the extent of the damage to the bones in her leg.
The feeling was one of deep anxiety. It was very scary and very upsetting.
Just X-ray. Just X-ray.
Hello, lovely. I've just got a little bit of medication for you. So one of them goes in through your vein here. That's just an antibiotic. And then the other one I need to give as an injection with a needle, I'm afraid.
Okay.
83-year-old Eve was brought into A&E with an open fracture of her ankle after falling at home in her basement.
Sharp scratch.
Doctors are awaiting the results of her X-rays to see if they've stabilised the bones in her ankle.
Didn't hurt a bit. Oh, good. Eve, what's your husband's name? John. I'll go and bring him in. Is that all right, yeah? Cool.
Oh, love, look at you. Looking all lovely lying there. Oh, let me give you a kiss. Oh. I was just 17 when I met Evie. I got a job in Covent Garden Market, and I thought it was one of the best things I ever done. It was a great education in everything. You walk with beggars and talk with kings. One minute you got some poor old sod struggling about things, the next minute you're talking to one of the hierarchy of the fruit business. So I was thought to go for, get the tea, do this, do that, and make all these phone calls where you had to go through the telephone exchange. And these voices on the telephone, you get an image of the person you're talking to. And they're all sort of Marilyn Monroe, Doris Day's of my age era, you know. And then you meet them and they don't quite turn out as... But I must say, Eve did. I mean, it could have been Gladys, Maureen, Mary, one of the others, but Eve was the best-looking one of the lot.
I took a sneaky look once. I went down through the market and I thought, now, which one is he? And then all of a sudden he appeared and I thought, well, perhaps that's him. But he was a skinny weed then. He was.
She used to think I was a barra boy. In those days, like, people in the fruit business were barra boys, weren't they? Spivs. That's how our relationship started, anyway. I suppose I'll have to take Pointless and Corrie for you. Oh, no, we're going to miss that. Pointless is on in a minute. Oh, dear. I didn't decide to get married. I think she did. But 63 years later, we're still happily married. I love you.
Doctors have received the results of Eve's x-rays.
Hello, my name's Vicky. I'm one of the doctors.
Hello, Vicky.
Nice to meet you. And is this your husband?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, sir. So we've looked at the x-rays and you probably need a bit more tweaking.
We got married September 55 and Gillian was born August 57. They had 5 years, then Suzanne was born. Two different personalities. I mean, Gillian was quite a loner, but Suzanne would scour the neighbourhood to find somebody to play with.
Some days say, come on, girls, want to come to work with me today? Come to the market. Usually on a Saturday morning, or sometimes they used to love it. Everybody give them £2 bob or half a crown. We had two lovely daughters. We were a happy family.
Yes, yeah.
Super chest x-ray.
Yes, yeah.
Maria was brought into A&E with severe sepsis.
Hello, Maria. Just going to do a quick chest x-ray, OK?
The medical team are performing x-rays to find the source of her infection.
Right, so we need to pop a hard board in behind your back, OK?
Do you want to do it under the sheet?
Yeah, just not too cold in the back. There we go. That's it, OK. Comfortable?
The first problems we noticed with Maria were her eyes. She was driving to work one morning and she'd gone to pick up our friend Helen and she couldn't control her eyes. And Helen had to drive into the office.
Let's bring this hand out to the side.
I was working, and at that time, I don't think either of us really thought there was anything serious going on. We were seen by the neurologist at Westmid, and they would do a brain scan or they would assess, they would make her do walking tests and things like that. I got a call and said that the doctors had come through with the diagnosis of MS. It felt like I'd been punched. I can't imagine how it must have felt for Maria. The doctors had said to us that it's not guaranteed that you're going to be in a wheelchair or have anything that's particularly bad. You can live a normal, healthy life. They suggested that if Maria got to her 40th birthday and she didn't have any serious complications, chances are she would be one of those lucky people that would be able to go on without too much problem.
Is that all right? Comfy?
It genuinely was irrelevant. I loved her. And of course, you never think it's actually going to happen.
Hi, hello.
Is this Maria?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm one of the doctors from the medical team.
Hi, hello there.
How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
The chest X-ray I've had a look at, there's a bit of shadowing on her left-hand side, which would imply possibly a left-sided infection. Maria?
Sweetheart. Baby.
It's very sleepy, isn't it?
Yeah. Baby. Are you going to wake up for me?
What we do need to keep an eye on is her sort of conscious state.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to see someone you care about so much unsure of their future. Maria was everything. You know, she has been my life for a very long time.
Oh, baby, come on, you need to wake up. It's important. Very, very important.
Okay. Oh, fingers crossed they'll get the worst of it out anyway. Which will be fine, won't it?
6-year-old Grace is waiting for tissue to be removed from her ear.
You're very quiet, you. As soon as we had Grace, it was fantastic. Even if I was getting home at 4 in the morning from work, I'd be up at 6 or 7. I'm trying to actually do something with our day. Do another nap?
No.
No? She didn't enjoy sleeping much. She was that typical baby where you basically have to creep out of the bedroom backwards and then sit at the top of the stairs to see if you'd woken her up. And quite often you had woken her up, so you'd have to go back in and hold her hand. The right work-life balance for me is crucial. So my career path has changed slightly. I'm a new openings manager for a pub company. But we're still very much into our music. Every year we go to Camp Festival. Grace absolutely loves it. The first foray into Camp Festival, me and Grace had a 4-man tent to put up, and it was windy and we were on top of a hill. Grace basically sat on it, just trying to help stop the wind from going, with loads of onlookers just watching, laughing, because I'm trying to put up this tent with a 3-year-old and not getting very far of it. After we built the tent, there was this massive kind of success that me and Grace were very proud that we'd built this tent, and went and kind of enjoyed the festival. Raving until crazy o'clock in the morning with Grace. It was great fun. She's a fantastic, kind of energetic child. She's kind of well beyond her years to some extent.
No, you could say that, Dad. I'll work round you.
You know what I've got? I've got a teeny tiny Hoover.
It's like a fairy hoover. Yeah, it's so small.
It's much smaller than the stuff you used to hoover the floor.
Can you hoover your floor like with this at home?
Time.
Good to
Have a
go?
little try.
Yeah.
Would that be okay? Super girl.
Big breath in now.
Yeah, just pull on your ear a little bit so it comes into my view.
Big breath in now. Go, big.
In.
You might hear the noise.
Slow.
And
Breathe in.
And out. There's a bit. In.
Good girl. Just
And
looking.
out.
She's just looking.
Gone.
Gone. Good girl.
Well done. We're done.
Good girl. Finished.
All done.
Yeah? Is that a cry of relief? Done. Should we get that sticker? Because you've deserved it.
Well done.
Definitely. Let me have a look in my bag and see if it's in. Sorry.
It's hard sometimes when, because she's so grown up with the way she behaves a lot of the time, that when she does something that a normal 6-year-old would do, you kind of, what are you doing that for, Grace? That's just, why are you hanging upside down on the sofa whilst you're watching TV? That is not what you should be doing. And you have to kind of correct yourself and realise actually she is only 6 and that, you know, that's the stuff that 6-year-olds do.
Give you a big sticker. Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash. I think you deserve 2. Do you think you're brave enough for 2? And then the friends together, please.
Very nice. It only feels like yesterday that she was free. She's now on Instagram, so we monitor her account. It's only on our phones, but she's on Instagram. And now she started playing with her kind of play makeup that we've given her and things like that as well. So it's all coming rather fast. So that's a whole other level of things that I've got to learn and develop with.
Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Well done. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Right,
Cheers. As she grows up and gets more and more into her teenage years, I think there'll be some testing times ahead. Wouldn't want it any other way.
Is it lunchtime? I can smell their horrid food, sorry. I can really smell it.
Yeah, that is the smell of hospital food.
Hello. I'm sorry that you're here. I'm one of the anaesthetic consultants. We've got to do something to your ankle, haven't we?
I think so.
Can I make you a bit sleepy while we do it?
Yes, please.
That would be a good way to do it, I think. I know I would like to be sleepy while somebody did that to me.
That's right, because it hurts.
Specialist consultants are realigning Eve's severely fractured ankle for a second time.
So, Evie, how old are you? Are you Eve or Evie?
Eve.
Eve.
83.
Lovely.
You think she's 38, though?
Yeah, I know. I'm the other way round.
I wish I was.
This is what you've got next, just to appease me.
Right.
There we go. It doesn't work straight away. You might find yourself feeling just a little bit woozy.
So have you got children?
Sad to say, they both passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We had 2 of the loveliest daughters anybody could ask for, and they're not with us anymore.
I'm so sorry.
Don't we?
Both of them died in St George's. Suzanne had a weight problem. I mean, she was about 18 stone. She went into St George's for this older version of a gastric band. And she was losing weight, and it was lovely, and she got to about 12 stone, I suppose. And of course, it stopped coming off. You know, you get to a plateau. So, of course, she started to make herself sick with bulimia. And that's how she died.
One was 33 and one was 50.
Very young.
Well, they were to us, and it's, we were dealt a bad end.
Gillian, she had a drink problem. And they told her, drink and die, don't drink and live. And for 13 years, she never had a drink. and the liver was regenerating. She'd got her degree and everything, but when it came to getting a job, 49, age was against her a bit then, you know, like. And I don't know whether she got low or what, and of course she had a drink, and she died on her 50th birthday.
She's now wrapped up for the night now, is she?
Right, that's done, so the fracture's reduced and stable, and then tomorrow to theatre.
John's always taken it a lot harder than me. I mean, he couldn't sit here and talk to you about them. He would be in tears. We miss both of them. Yeah, not having them.
Eve needs a further scan to assess the alignment of her ankle ahead of emergency surgery to repair the damage to her bones and blood vessels.
Hi. Yes, Duncan, yes.
Hi, Duncan.
Nice to meet you. Hi.
Specialist consultant Nicola has come to resus following Maria's sudden loss of consciousness.
She's more drowsy, isn't she, than she was? Maria? Hello? She had blood gas or anything like that? Gas was completely okay.
This isn't just sleep, obviously,
No,
but
no.
I think she is probably exhausted as well.
Did anyone talk to you before about sort of how aggressive to be with her care in those discussions?
We've had the conversation about non-resuscitation, and we agreed that it would be too much for her to cope with. Whenever Maria went in for any length of time, we would have the do not resuscitate conversation. In the course of probably the last year or so, we've had about 3 or 4. She understood that her body was very weak. She understood that, you know, the physical trauma on her would have been too much. Imagine if somebody says to you, if your partner's heart stops, we will not start it. Regardless of whether you know that that's the best thing, whether you know that it's the least traumatic thing, you know that that person, the person you love, the person that is your world, will die because they can't take action. That's not an easy situation to be in. Right, sweetheart, we're going to be moving in a minute. We're going to be going to a new space.
Maria will be taken to a ward where she'll be closely monitored by specialist doctors. X-rays have shown Eve's ankle realignment was successful.
Oh, love, come back to your hubby, have you?
She said we couldn't keep her too long. You might miss her too much.
Hello, lovely. Oh, you got that back
Oh,
on.
there she is, that cherry, eh?
Take this off again.
Yeah, I can't drink that with that on,
No,
can I?
I think you'd struggle a little bit, wouldn't you?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, that's the best cup of tea I've had today.
Oh.
Mind you, it's the only cup of
Yeah.
tea I've had today.
Which makes it the very best cup of tea. Well, hopefully now that we're finally happy, we can get you over to the ward. In the meantime, I'm going to let you enjoy your cup of tea, and I'll get everything ready.
You know, when you're better and back being fit and well, you can't go doing some of these soppy things that you've been doing now.
Well, all that washing that I took off is all lying on the floor down in the cellar.
Well, then don't worry, I can pick all that up, can't I? Take it down the charity shop.
Our daughter, Suzanne, had a son called Leon.
He came to live with us when he was 8 years of age, because that's when his mum passed away.
Leon's dad wasn't on the scene much at all. So he's been with us ever since.
He used to go and get child allowance on one hand and a pension on the other. Yeah, she always used to laugh about that.
I'd done some running about there. I mean, we used to take him everywhere, you know, Ashdown Park, Legoland, Chessington Zoo.
Well, what can I say other than we love him dearly?
Did having Leon here kind of help you and John, do you think?
Oh, I think so. Oh, yes. He was a lovely gift.
He was 30 now, so he lives in Amsterdam. He seems to have got a decent job and he's quite happy. But he always makes sure that he comes home.
Right, Eve, all the best. My colleague's going to take you over to the ward.
Thank you, darling.
So I hope you're out soon, all right? Look after yourself. All the best, John.
And you, Sherry-Ann, please. Good luck with the baby and everything.
Thank you so much.
I like to think that Leon learned something about love and affection. He certainly loves his nan and granddad.
Being a patient in A&E can be emotionally very hard. But try and take it all in perspective. A lot of families, and they find a lot of strength from each other, and they look at the brighter side that they can and find the silver linings even in the darkest clouds.
When it was mentioned as surgery, it was like amputation. And that was very scary and very upsetting.
And they say to him, don't come every day. But he'd stagger into the ward. He quite enjoyed the food there, though.
What is your secret to a happy marriage?
Never go to bed with an argument hanging over you. Whatever it is, when you get into bed and lay next to each other, always be able to turn around and say, good night, God bless, love you. And a little peck. If you can do that, you'll have a happy marriage.
I absolutely don't take it for granted that I have a healthy, happy little boy, and I was able to get pregnant and I was able to start my family. I feel very lucky, and hopefully I can bring up Freddie to treat people in a considerate, compassionate way, because that's, if you're doing that, then you can't really do much else wrong.
She needed to be here. She was happy here. And I knew I could look after her in a way that the hospital couldn't. I'd woken up Went in to see her, and it was clear that it wasn't a normal morning. She hadn't survived the night. She looked beautiful. I mean, she was completely relaxed. There was no strain on her face or anything like that. At her funeral, I read the eulogy. It was about celebrating Maria for who she was. The song that we finished on was Bruno Mars, Just the Way You Are, and the lyrics in that song fitted beautifully. I would tell her she was beautiful every day, and she would laugh at me. I will remember her in everything. I will remember her in the sofa. We chose it together. I'll remember her in the pictures that we took. There isn't one specific thing. She is everything.
George's recess. Bullseye. Right, and you said she's fully immobilised, yeah?
She was an unrestrained passenger.
With a high-speed car crash, you can get so severe a head injury and also so severe a spinal cord injury that the patient didn't survive.
Fire brigade removed the roof of the car. She was taken out through the top.
Megan, do you know where you are at the moment? Megan?